Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Traders Podcast, episode number 36. I am your grateful and appreciative host, Jeremy Hritz, wearing the new Courage Pays Better Than Fear trading swag. Yes, loving it. Got my Courage t-shirt on, and it's a great Friday. Closed up trading early for the day, profitable. Now I'll monitor things from the side and just go about enjoying my day. And I'm excited to talk to everyone today, and hopefully you got a piece of the action. But Tesla had a tremendous earnings report that had this thing gap up significantly, almost went up $50 on the gap, on the move. And so what we're going to spend today talking about in this episode is, what does the future of the company Tesla look like? Because a lot of people think that it's just electric vehicles, and that's a major component of the company. But there are so many other factors that are at play that really won't begin generating profits for this company until a few years from now. But here's the thing. Once these things start coming to fruition, the amount of cash flow that Tesla will be able to generate is pretty profound. So we're going to get into all that today, just to give you an overview of what you can expect from Tesla in the next couple of years based on what their goals and plans are. We'll also take a look at Mr. Roku. I got the glasses ready to go. And we'll also just get a quick update of what's happening in the markets. And let's do that right now. All right. And it's no secret, it's no surprise, but the election is just a few short weeks away, Tuesday, November 5th. And why do I mention that? Because the uncertainty associated with the election, who the next leader of the country will be, is causing a bit of uncertainty in the markets. Now, when you look at the charts, you can see that the stock market continues to run up to all-time highs. And as I'm talking here today on the Traders Podcast, the S&P 500 is moving up, the QQQ is moving up, the DIA is moving up. Everything's pushing higher. Now, we haven't made all-time highs today, but it's showing resiliency. And typically what you see, especially this time of year, September and October, they're two of the worst months in the market. But we haven't seen that. September, we hit new all-time highs. Same in October. And the market just keeps pushing up. Now, there is some uncertainty there. I threw that word out there again about what's going to happen come the election, post-election, because typically what you have is a year-end rally that will begin at the end of October into the end of the year. And you may have heard the term Santa Claus rally that happens in December. And so some people are saying that because we're getting such a strong push here in October, that rally will be muted that follows, or we could experience a correction. And, you know, there's a lot of division right now associated with the impending election. There's a lot of just unknowns that are out there. So how will the election impact markets? We'll find out. But what we should see is once the decision is made by the American people and a new president is elected and there's no contention, it's just, all right, here's the candidate, we're moving forward. That's going to draw a lot of that instability, that uncertainty, that unpredictability out of the markets. And what you should see, and typically this is why we see this following elections, is you should see a push higher. And so all eyes are on that. We've got inflation coming down. We've got the jobs numbers that were concerns back in August coming in a little better. We've got manufacturing is a little bit better. And we've got the earnings reports. We're in a new round of earnings that have been decent. And so all those things together, the markets are pushing higher. But the big thing we have to watch for is the election. And whoever you're going to vote for, make sure you get out there and vote on the 5th. And what fun it's going to be. Oh, what fun it's going to be come the 6th. Once hopefully all this is over and we can see the impact on the markets. And I'll mention this too. I don't know if I ever told you guys this, but I'm a huge Christmas fan. And starting November 1st, it's on. I will be out there in my Clark Griswold jersey, taking down the Halloween decorations, putting them away, and it's time to get my Clark Griswold on. So that's the other thing I'm looking forward to as well. So there's your update about what's happening in the markets. Now let's talk about Tesla. Okay, so Tesla reported earnings the other day, and we saw a huge move up off of that news, and it's pushing up higher again today. Hit 269. It'll probably hit 270 before the end of the day. A little bit of a pullback that occurred, but the future is bright for the Tesla company. And what I wanted to spend some time talking about today is what the future of this company is all about, because a lot of times people think that Tesla is an electronic vehicle company, that they produce the Model Y, the X, the Cybertruck, which I'm a huge fan of. I'm about to get mine wrapped, so I'm working on getting that set up. But there's also components of their business that probably doesn't get a lot of attention. And there are also parts of the business that are in development and aren't released yet. They're in progress. So we're going to talk about that as well. But one overlooked component of the Tesla brand is its energy department, where they create energy with their batteries, with their solar. And that has been something that has generated a lot of profit for the company, and it keeps growing every year with how much that is contributing to the company's bottom line. And so a lot of people aren't aware of that that's a component of this business that keeps on growing. And something else that's really cool, just from the EV space in the Cybertruck, there are ports in the back of the truck where there are outlets that you can plug your appliances or things into in the event that you have a power outage. So I didn't realize this, but the other day I'm like, hey, I really don't need a generator. I could just plug in my refrigerator. It even has a connector. I'm not sure what the type of plug is for a washer and dryer. You could plug your washer and dryer into the Cybertruck. It's really neat. So just some of the innovation that's associated with Tesla. But that power component is a big part of the company that is starting to generate income, and it's catching the attention of investors. So you have the EV space, you have the power space. Associated with that EV space, the electronic vehicles, is they're going to be producing a sub $30,000 vehicle, which is going to make the car more affordable and accessible to more people in the US. So that is also going to add to the profitability of this company. But the big part of the future of Tesla is the robotaxi and autonomous driving and Optimus. Okay, so I wanted to spend some time talking about that. So robotaxi essentially is a car that drives itself. Okay, and they've created a model that does not have a steering wheel. It's a two-seater. They call it the Cyber Cab. That it will come and pick you up. You'll get in. There's no drivers, and it'll take you where you need to go, bring you back to home, and yeah, it's pretty amazing. And you might be saying to yourself, well, there are driverless taxis out there right now. They're created by Waymo, which is a Google company, and they operate out in the Bay Area and some other areas. But they use LiDAR, which is a type of sensor, radar sensor. But where Tesla differs is they use cameras for their vision, for their vehicles, for their autonomous driving, which a lot of people say is not possible to use cameras for autonomous driving, that it's not going to work. And the reason why Tesla is using that is because its cost is way cheaper than the LiDAR that is used by Waymo. And if successful, the profit for the company is going to be insane. Now, here's the crazy part of the whole robotaxi feature. If you own a Tesla, no matter what the Model Y, Model S, Model X, Cybertruck, you own a robotaxi. So think about this. While you sleep, when full self-driving is ready to go, you can sign your Tesla up to be used as a robotaxi. And for all my people out there who like to make money and generate passive income while they sleep, you're on the Traders Podcast for crying out loud. You can make money from your Tesla. So there's a going to be a ride sharing app on the phone, and if your car is part of that fleet, it will pull out of your driveway. It'll go do the ride, come back, and you just made money by doing absolutely nothing. So think about that. Any Tesla in the world can be used as a robotaxi, not just the cyber cabs. Now think about the impact of that on this company's bottom line, right? And think about what the draw to people. Hey, I can make money by having a Tesla and I could drive it myself. That's going to be a big draw, a big attraction. And the other part too is keep this in mind is that think of all the bad drivers are out there or all the accidents that happen, people driving, drunk driving, all that kind of stuff. When you have an autonomous vehicle that can drive itself, it's going to eliminate that human error and just make the roads that much safer. Okay. So that's going to unlock a massive, massive profit for the Tesla company and really just take it to the next level. But it doesn't stop there because the last component of Tesla is the Optimus robot. Okay. And you might be saying, well, what the hell? What is that? The Optimus robot is basically a personal assistant that you will have in your home that can do basically whatever you need it to do. If you need it to fold laundry for you, it can fold laundry. If you need it to wash the dishes, it will wash dishes. If you want to sit down and play a board game as a family, your Optimus robot can sit down and play the game with you. You want it to play your piano, whatever song you want, it'll play the piano. Do you want it to whatever you want it to do, it will do it. Okay. Now I know that sounds crazy. And I'm not sure what the limits are on what it can do because I know some people are out there saying, well, I wonder. So a lot of investors, analysts are saying that this could be the biggest product out there since the iPhone, and that it could be to where everybody has a personal robot in their home. All right. Now, that might sound crazy, but that's what they're currently working on. Now, they're probably 3 years away from this being out at scale mass production, but it's going to happen. And these are going to be priced anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000. And so think about that for a second. That's another stream of revenue on top of robotaxi, on top of the power component of a company, on top of the electronic vehicles. Okay. And so when you put all that together, this is why people are so excited about the long-term prospects for Tesla. You're talking $1 trillion company, and people have some price targets on the stock into the 2000 range, right? So right now, Tesla's trading between, it was like 262 to 266. Well, think of the difference between 262 to 2000. And imagine you just buy one share. It's $1,000 if it gets there, right? Not everything's guaranteed, right? This is trading and investing. But think about that for a minute. Even if it hits 1,000, that's a great profit target. And the company Tesla, if you think about everything that it's accomplished, these might seem like some crazy achievements, but right now, Teslas are equipped with supervised self-driving, where the car will drive you to your location, and you just have to monitor the vehicle, right? You don't have to do anything. You don't have to hit the accelerator. You don't have to touch the steering wheel. It will drive for you. But just think about that, what's possible with this company in terms of its long-term prospects. And I didn't even mention its AI that it's working on. There's just so much. So this is not an investment pitch. I'm just pointing out to you what this company is doing. And I would encourage you as traders and investors, and I'm sure a lot of you do, research on your companies before you invest. But if you've never taken a look at Tesla before, go read about their Optimus, robotaxi, their power component of their business, and see what the potential is for this company. And this could be something life-changing if it is part of your portfolio long term. So pretty cool stuff that's happening over there with Tesla. I wanted to share that with you. But now it is time for Mr. Roku. Here we go. Let's check it out. All right, so here's our beloved Mr. Roku, and we are getting ready for earnings next week, the day before Halloween. Spooky, spooky. And you can see that Roku hit $80 here on the 16th. That's when was that the day that Netflix reported earnings? It was, I think it was, or it was close to that time. But it did hit that $80 mark, and since then it has pulled back down. We are below that 10-day moving average. We're being squeezed in between the 10, the 20, the 50, the 50 on the weekly, and we could see this nice little chunk of volume sitting right here waiting for earnings. And my thought has been all along that we get the big move to fill this gap that's left over from the start of the year, that we fill that thing on earnings. And so that's coming up. My earnings target was 97.23, and I think I have it on this chart somewhere. Yep, $100 target by October for Mr. Roku. We're going to see if we're going to get that. I'm not so sure we're going to hit 100 now, but I'm going to stick with that prediction. If I'm wrong all the time, right? You only have to be right some of the times in the market, but you know, it's done a decent job. It's hanging out here, and this could come down. So this is what we have to watch. You could see that it's thin on volume in between the 72, 82 and the 69 mark. So if the earnings aren't great, we could see it come down to that 69 area, maybe consolidate before pushing higher. But if it's good and it could get a strong close up here into the 80s before earnings, then that gap up looks pretty good, and Roku can make the run that we've been waiting for. And ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for episode number 36 of the Traders Podcast. I'm your grateful and appreciative host, Jeremy Hritz. Thanking you so much for being part of the show today. Don't forget, sign up for Profit Pioneers. It kicks off next Tuesday, October 29th. Excited to run that free course. Registration link is in the show notes. Let me know if you have any questions or anything you'd like me to take a look at. And I will see you back here next week for a brand new episode. And it'll be November 1st. I'll probably have my Clark Griswold jersey on. But until then, remember, courage pays better than fear. I will see you next week. Take care.